So, you want to start a voice acting career, but every time you look into setting up your very first home studio, you're completely bombarded with endless microphone recommendations, really baffling audio and acoustic terms, and a price tag that makes your wallet cry. Yeah, I get it. Believe me, there are some sources of information out there that even scare me. But here's the thing, getting started in voiceover doesn't have to be complicated or crazy expensive. And today I'm cutting through all that noise and I'm breaking down the first 3 steps to setting up a home studio that sounds professional without draining your bank account. And by the end of the video, you'll not only have a clear plan to get started, but I'm also going to share a free resource that is packed with everything you need to build your first studio the right way on a budget. Hi, my name is Amy. I'm more than 15-year veteran of the voice acting industry and an Emmy-nominated broadcaster, and I've created this channel to help voice actors and speaking professionals unlock their performance potential. So step 1 in building your first entry-level, budget-friendly, but professional home studio is find and prepare your recording space. Here is the truth. Your recording space is way more important than the microphone that you buy. Seriously, you could have a $1,000 microphone, but if your room sounds like a cave, it's gonna sound like a cave. That microphone can't fix that for you. So how do you figure out where your recording space should be in your home? First, find the quietest spot possible. When looking around your house, avoid noise sources, traffic, pets, kids, appliances, the HVAC system. The best beginner spaces are kind of maybe a little obscure. Walk-in closets, particularly if they are full of clothes, are wonderful for this. Rooms with wall-to-wall carpeting, particularly if they don't have windows, think a room in your basement, or even just a DIY vocal booth made out of moving blankets. Your acoustic treatment matters more than your fancy gear. So basically what you want to do is you want to make the sound in your recording space as dead as possible. When you hear people say the room sounds too live, you want it to sound more dead. The more live a room sounds, the more the sound is reflecting off of hard surfaces. And every time it reflects off of a wall or a glass window, it bounces back towards your microphone and creates ever so slightly a little bit of an echo. And that's why sometimes it can sound like someone has recorded a voiceover in a hallway. In order to deaden the sound, you want things that absorb sound. Easy fixes are thick blankets, duvets, even bookshelves, DIY foam panels. As I said before, moving blankets, wall-to-wall carpeting is a wonderful thing in a studio room. Here's a quick tip. Even a really expensive mic is going to sound bad in an echoey room. But in a treated space that's absorbing a lot of sound, that can make even a budget microphone sound pro level. Step 2, you're going to want to choose your first microphone and essential gear. So now that your recording space is prepped, let's talk about what you actually need and what you don't to get started. First up, we're going to talk about microphone options. USB mics versus XLR mics. Which one is right for you? USB mics are plug and play. They're usually affordable. They're great for beginners. You take a USB mic, you plug it right into the USB port on your computer, and away you go. XLR mics are higher quality for sure. They also require an additional piece of equipment called an audio interface. That is the piece of equipment that's going to take the signal from the microphone and feed it into your computer in a more high quality way. It may also power that XLR microphone as well. But you don't necessarily need an XLR just yet, particularly if you're trying to decide if voiceover is right for you, if this is the industry and career you really want to get into. Here's what I did. I actually did start my career 15 years ago with a USB mic, a very good USB mic, and I'm going to leave the link to it down in the bottom of the description for this video so that you can take a look at it too. It is a great microphone. It got me through a number of years to begin my voiceover business because I treated the room that I was in, and so it made that USB mic and the skills that I had developed with my voice sound really top notch. What other gear do you need? Well, you're going to need a shock mount. A shock mount is one of these funky looking things that your microphone will sit in on its stand or on the boom arm that you have it connected to on your microphone on your desk. The shock mount is going to reduce vibration, whether it's from your computer or a truck rumbling by outside, things like that. Reducing vibrations equals cleaner sound. And I'm also going to leave a suggestion for a good entry-level shock mount down in the description as well. Headphones matter more than you think. And no, I don't mean popping in your AirPods or your earbuds. You're going to want to get yourself a good pair of closed back headphones. Why? Because earbuds, AirPods, they will bleed sound out of them. Think about it. If you're sitting next to someone who has a pair of AirPods in, you can hear what they're listening to. Your microphone is like somebody's ear, and if you could hear bleed out of someone's earbuds, your microphone will pick that up as well, and that's a big no-no. So you're going to want closed back, full over-the-ear headphones. And I have a great pair that's really affordable that I still use today, each and every day, and I will leave that link for you down in the description. There are really good beginner options that aren't going to kill your budget for both mics and headphones. As I've said, I'm going to leave links to all of that down in the description. Listen, your first setup doesn't need to be your forever setup. My initial setup 15 years ago as a voice actor to what it has evolved into today has taken years to grow and upgrade as you begin to earn money in your profession. And you can just keep upgrading as you go. Okay, step 1 was finding your room. Step 2 was getting some basic gear. Step 3, you need to choose and get comfortable with a DAW. DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation, and really it's just a fancy term for recording software. This is the software that you are going to pull up onto your computer that you are going to record your voice into and do some basic audio editing and then export it, typically either as an MP3 file or a WAV file to send off for an audition or as your completed project for a client. And honestly, this is where a lot of beginners start to panic because yes, if you don't have a background in audio production or really techie kinds of things like this, it can be really intimidating. Take a deep breath. Don't worry. You do not need to become an audio engineer to succeed in voiceover. There are a lot of great free resources out there for you. In fact, there's a great free DAW available, which is the best beginner DAW in my opinion. That's called Audacity. I'll leave a link for it down below. It is free, open source software. I still use it today. I've been in this business for 15 years and I still like to use Audacity for all of my audio editing and as my DAW. There are affordable upgrades if eventually you want to go to a more robust audio editing software like Reaper or Adobe Audition. But basically what you want to do is just learn your basic audio skills ASAP. There's lots of resources right here on YouTube for you to do that. Tutorials and how-tos on the basic audio skills that you'll need. And this is why I say don't panic too much, because this is all a skill and it's actually very easy to learn. You're going to learn things like removing breaths from your audio, not too much, but removing any unwanted breaths. You want to learn how to normalize levels so that you don't sound too quiet or too loud. And you want to learn basic noise reduction, where you're taking out any extra background noise that's in your room that you just can't get rid of without overdoing it where you make yourself sound like a robot. Learning this stuff really doesn't have to be overwhelming. You're going to start small, watch free tutorials, join some voiceover online communities where you can ask for tips and advice from other people who have already started their journey or have been voice actors for a good amount of time. And then just practice. The great thing is Audacity is free. You can download it, you can start recording into it, and then just start playing around with all of the tutorials and start kind of messing with the different features of it and really learn the ins and outs of how it works at a basic level. Don't worry about getting into the advanced editing stuff. You don't need to worry about that right out of the gate. So with a treated space, the right budget-friendly gear, and really some basic recording skills, you'll be way ahead of the game and ready to start recording professional quality voiceover work. Choosing a mic and setting up your space, though, is really just the beginning. If you're wondering what else do I need to truly sound professional, well, I've put together the Voice Actors Home Studio Starter Pack, which is a totally free guide that is packed with 10 items every beginner voice actor needs to set up their studio without overspending. What's inside? Well, you'll get recommendations for budget-friendly gear, setup tips, and essential tools to kickstart your voiceover career, and you can download it right now. It's a free resource for you, and the link is down in the description. Now, let me know in the comments, what has been the biggest challenge, or what do you foresee as the biggest challenge in setting up your home studio? I'd love to know, and I'd love to see if I can help. So, on your checklist, studio? Check. Gear? Check. If you're really serious about voice acting, my next video reveals exactly what it takes to launch your career and some of the common mistakes that beginners make. And so if you want to avoid those and really start on your path, click right here to watch it, and I'll see you next time.